And a good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Issues and Attitudes. My name is Jeff Owens, Director of WEIU. My co-host is Mr. Gerard Singleton.
What's going on, Jeff?
Hey, today what's going on is the EIU Booth Library. We have Brian Keith, the Dean of the Booth Library. Welcome, Brian.
Thank you very much.
Chris Redmon, President of the Library Ambassadors of Booth.
Thank you for having me.
And Anna Nelson is here. She is the Booth Library Public Relations Director. Welcome, Anna.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Appreciate y'all coming in on this Monday and talking all things Booth. I'll start off with maybe a little bit of background of each of you, like what your duties are and your job title and whatever else you want us to know before we get into some of the things that are happening this semester at Booth. Well, Anna, go first.
Sure, I can get us started. So I am the Public Relations Director. So I handle all of the marketing things for the library. I do social media. Anytime we need to put out like a press release or anything like that, I kind of handle all the communications for the library.
How y'all doing? I'm the president of the library. What I do is set agendas, more the face of the library, help motivate my team. I help run a social media event planning and marketing team. So I pretty much do all that. I also work. But yeah, you LTSS, by the way. So I know a little bit about everything.
So Chris is selling himself short. So he's the president of the Library Ambassadors at Booth. And I've been in libraries for decades, and it is the best volunteer group of any kind, but particularly a student-run volunteer group. And he's a terrific leader, and just an all-around, all of those students that are involved in that really just humble me every day, and the generosity that you guys bring to supporting the library. So my name's Brian Keith, as you said, and I'm the Dean of the Library. And so I provide vision for how the library can be as impactful as possible for students and for faculty, and making sure that we're aligned with the needs of those groups. One of the great things about Booth Library is we also are open to the public. And so there's a terrific public library in Charleston, but we're also a public library, and I'll make sure that those folks are able to take advantage of our programs too.
There's so many different things going on at Booth at all times. I mean, where do you kind of want to start when we start talking about some of the stuff that's happening this semester at Booth Library, Anna?
Well, we can start off with the CSI. Do you want to share some things about that, Brian?
Sure. So, our library has all of the things you would expect. Great librarians, I already mentioned, great volunteers, great staff, and great materials. But we also have a program called the Center for Student Innovation. And the idea is that it allows us to work with faculty and work with students on making sure people have the digital skills that they need. And so that program is open to students. We have, and the public, we have discovery hours Monday through Thursday, 4 to 5:30. Folks can come in. And what you would experience if you drop in is hands-on use of podcasting equipment, data visualization, multimedia storytelling equipment, where you can make animations. And also, did I mention 3D printing?
I don't think so.
3D printing for sure. And virtual reality, free, yep. And so it does that. And really that program, in partnership with the Faculty Development and Innovation Center, allows Booth Library to provide access to technology. So you kind of come into a petting zoo in the CSI and get exposed to the technology, but then a lot of that same equipment is available in the library. People can check it out when we loan it. So there's access, but then there's also, like I mentioned, the discovery hours. We also do training on apps and the different technology. And so there's the skill development. And so as a student, if you're interested in learning about it, and I hope they are, whether it's for your class or whether it's just for career preparation or just curiosity, we provide those supports. But as a faculty member, you know that if you want to have an alternative to a term paper, let's say you want to allow students to submit a podcast, we have 3 podcasting rooms. We have people to show you how to use the technology. We loan the equipment. And so there's that sort of combination of the training and access to technology.
Interesting. What, Dara?
I've also been privy to the exhibits you all host at Booth. So whether it be, I know it is Black History Month now, are there any plans for that coming up?
Yeah, so we actually have an exhibit up right now. It's on the main level. We call it the reference hallway, kind of where you walk through the library. And it features Black history of Coles County. So it's kind of a wide variety of different things, but there's some cool pictures to take a look at there as well.
And do you have other events planned for Black History Month? I thought there was a couple things going on.
We do, yeah. So we have a couple of book displays. One of them features just about books about social justice, and then the other one is queer Black authors. So we have those 2 book displays, and then we also have an exhibit planned for in collaboration with Biological Sciences. They're celebrating their 25th anniversary. So we're putting together a display that will recognize their first Black instructor and professor, and his name is Bill Ridgway. So that will be at some point this month.
And then for you, Chris, when you're the president of library ambassadors, so how, are you always trying to find more people to do things at the library or to run some of these events, or how's that work?
So I feel like I spend most of my time talking to people all day long about the library. And yes, we attack people mostly at the beginning of the school year to get them on the team and get them going. I think this year we got about 15 to 20 people on the staff member. We've been growing. I think last year we had like 8. So imagine that increase of people that's working with us. We don't care your skill set. Anybody adds to the team. We got marketing people, event planning people. We got people who doing nursing, it doesn't matter. They want to be a part of the team. They want to help be creative. They want to be a part of this. So I reach out to everybody like, this is a good opportunity to boost your resume. This is a good opportunity to network with people, help you get jobs. I done met some pretty amazing people doing this job, and I want everybody to do the same.
When you think about everything that's going on in the library and you being the boss, Brian, is it tough to always, there's so many moving parts there on a constant basis. Do you keep track of it, or do you just kind of have good people and take us through that kind of stuff?
Well, I report to the provost, and in the event that he's listening, I'm completely engaged and I understand everything about the library. But for everyone besides the provost and the president, yeah, I mean, it's really hard to keep track of everything because there is so much taking place. And, in terms of our services, in terms of the connection between the librarians and the instructors and how they're integrating into the courses and, helping people understand information literacy. We're doing AI. I could talk for a full 30 minutes on just the terrific services that they're providing, and then the events. I would encourage people to take a look at our calendar. I mean, there is something going on all day, almost every night. And we're open 7 days a week. And so it really is. And I think that's one of the challenges, for Anna and her job is, I've talked about the library before as a marketing person. It's a content engine. Mm-hmm. And I think it's, there is so much going on and we're continuously evolving. I mean, we're a microcosm of the University of Higher Education. And it's a challenge. Right?
Yeah, with that relationship the library has to being that generator of content, specifically, what medium of communication would you say is the most applicable or the most successful you've had experience, promoting the library through?
Sure. So I think it kind of depends on who the target is for the event. But if we're trying to reach students, definitely Instagram. So we connect mostly with students on Instagram. Facebook, we can reach some alumni and community members. We have had a few of our Instagram reels kind of go viral-ish, for our page. They're not going crazy, but we've gotten some really good feedback on some of our marketing through Instagram. So we're finding a lot of success through that.
The other thing you want to talk about today was the Family Hub and everything that goes with it. The list of things is incredible. I don't know who wants to start here, but talk about the Family Hub.
I can share about that. So the Family Hub was designed to support students that are also parents or caregivers of small children. So with the Family Hub, we have 2 lactation and infant feeding rooms. We have family study spaces, and then we also have changing tables in a few of our public restrooms. And so the feeding and lactation rooms are available to anyone that might be visiting campus, of course, our students, but then also anyone who might be on campus just visiting or at a conference or something like that. So it's definitely filling a need that wasn't already here at EIU.
Okay, I thought it was interesting. We have a strolling parking space for a floor.
Yeah, there's parking slots for strollers. It's pretty cute.
So 1 in 7 students, just according to the data that's submitted for financial aid, are parents. And so that number's probably low, but then you also take into account family members who, on occasion may not be the parent, but they, need to lend a hand.
Yeah.
And so we really think it's a critical support in reducing a potential barrier to student success. And the initiative was put forward by the president and the provost. They invited us to submit a proposal. And so we put together a team and came up with a vision. And someone described it as, for those spaces, there's no casual user. If you need a lactation space, whether you're an employee, a student, a faculty member on campus, a staff member, whomever you are on campus, there's no incidental use. If you're the person who normally takes care of your kid, or your younger sibling isn't able to do that, they're sick, this is a way that you can still come on campus. You can take that certification exam. And so for these spaces, they're really important.
And there's going to be 4 different events you're helping run and via the Family Hub this year. You want to talk about those?
During the Family Hub?
Yeah.
Those are different. So those so those are with the Library Ambassadors of Booth.
Okay.
I just kind of picked up a few of their events that they have coming up in the spring, but if you want to share about those.
Oh, yeah. So 2 days from now, we got Sing Your Heart Out at Booth Library. We doing that for Valentine's Day. Get a chance to bring your crush or anybody you feel like you want to have a good time. Do karaoke with us. It's pretty fun. We got No Tech Hour. We came up with that last semester. That was a big hit. Students be off no electronics for an hour, and you get to play games.
Is that possible, by the way? Will they do they do it?
It's possible, yes. They really
And a good turnout.
I think it is possible. It sounds pretty fun to me.
Yes, so being involved with each other and interacting with each other is a big part of why we do the lab, and students actually come out and do it, and we love that for them. So they keep doing it. We got Library Kahoot. We're going to do some facts about the library. We giving away a big teddy bear, y'all. So if you want to come win that and some Squishmallows. We got Crafting Galore. Crafting is actually one of our biggest events. We just had Crafting last week for Valentine's Day, and it's always a big hit. We always have about 40 students there crafting, creating different things. So we hope you come enjoy time with us.
I know in the world of technology, it seems like it was tougher for some libraries to stay relevant on campus, or if they're in there, even the community libraries. But with all the things that you're doing with the innovation and stuff, it seems like you've kind of figured out a good path to stay relevant. So I guess, how do you maintain that so the usage and the numbers and everything continues to go up?
Yeah, there's a couple of answers I could give to that. One of them is we had some visionary donors who positioned us, and we have some folks who've given because they really want to level the playing field for access to technology, and they feel it's really important for students and for faculty here to have that. So that's one that makes all things possible if you have money. And then the other is our librarians, I think, have really been out on the fore in thinking about what information literacy means in a digital age. And so they launched these AI sandboxes. And so when ChatGPT about a year ago came out, and people were very concerned about academic integrity, as it's just a new way of plagiarizing, they were able to kind of articulate, well, it's that. We've been dealing with academic integrity and plagiarism and proper citations for a long time, but this is also a skill. And, what in a classroom can be, well, is this cheating? In a workplace, it's efficiency. And so kind of striking that chord, the faculty in the library, our librarians in partnership with the faculty, the strength of those relationships is really essential. I mean, we can't really build stuff and assume that the curriculum's going to bend to what's in the library. It really is that kind of synchronous relationship. And so those are the key parts, I would say.
Okay, that's a great answer.
Yeah, I really do admire the interconnectivity and the intersection between whatever curriculum. Like me as a communications major, I'm learning things about the efficacy of AI and things of that nature. And just being able to have not only being taught the theory in courses, but being able to have a place to test the applicable skills with the library, with the sandbox, and having a place to explore, I think is really valuable. And so I think specifically to Chris, my question would be, can you walk me through the process of like planning out the itinerary of what's going to happen? So is it like a month by month thing? Is there a board that meets? Do you all just sit and like have brainstorm sessions? Because you all add things. There's never a lack of new things happening at the library.
Thank you for that. So this is how it all goes down. So we meet every Tuesday in the fourth floor with us room. And what we do is the semester before, we actually plan out our big events and we have them on the calendar already. And for the next semester, we'll start brainstorming new ideas, like smaller events that can happen through that semester. And we'll do it like that. We always trying to keep it up and going. So if we don't got an event, we on social media. We ain't on social media, we got an event. So we wanna keep our name and faces out there. When we at our meetings, it started off with me getting an agenda, recapping, seeing how everybody feeling. We do spread out to our groups, our event planning group, help plan structureize the group. We all pretty much come up with the ideas, but they structure out the group. Our marketing plans make sure our flyers, our things and that nature is correct, and the social media. We trying to be funny and creative as possible so people can interact with us at all times. So I tell people when I'm pitching the idea to come join the lab that everybody got a creative mindset. So whatever you want to see in the library, or I'm gonna try to make that happen for you. I told them when I was running for president again that I'm gonna be the motivation for our people, and I'm gonna be the voice that try to get things to happen. So that's why we do it.
The other thing, New York Times subscription for all people that are employed or a student at Eastern. Talk about that and how that works.
Sure. So the library has a complimentary subscription for the New York Times, and it's available to all students, employees, and even our retired employees. So it's definitely useful for like staff just to consume news, but it's also being used in the classroom as well. And I recently wrote an article. If you want to check out the Note booth, you can find that on our website. And I shared about a American government class that was using the New York Times subscription.
Cool. How does it need up here?
One of my favorite features of the library is the interlibrary loan. And I was always curious, is it limited to informational text or like, because I know we have so many technology resources and other things like that. So if someone wanted, say, a sewing machine at another library, would we be willing to or able to do something like that?
We would be testing the system. It is for all media. And so it could be a DVD, it could be a journal, it could be a book. But to be honest, maybe it should be expanded to include technology. In the library, we have sewing machines that are available for loan, and we have a donor that we're actually connecting with who's giving us 2 additional ones. And so we're trying to think of a way in which we can have those available for experiential learning. If I could tag on to the New York Times. So the subscription that the library has is for that. And one of the things that we were able to negotiate, we pay the contract, and we were able to negotiate terms that opened it up to the broader EIU community. So anyone with an EIU email address has free access to it, and all of the other stuff that comes along with the paper, the media, and just all of the other parts that you would get with a subscription. So to me, it's important because it kind of talks about the librarians that we have that I get to work with that are looking for ways to expand the contracts for the greatest impact. It also is an important resource because it complements the Wall Street Journal and the Chicago Tribune. And so as a faculty member, you can rely on it to be a perspective, but not the only perspective that's shared. And so anyway, I hope people do take advantage of it. We're following it to see how many people who are part of the EIU family are taking advantage of it.
How's the setup? Can you talk about the setup of the paper there? You just give your email or
sign up.
Yeah, the sign up. Yeah.
Yep. We have a link on our website, and then it'll take you to a place to sign up with your EIU account, EIU email to create an account.
75th anniversary is next year for Booth. I know everything is kind of tentative right now with what you're all going to do, but to kind of tease it a little bit, could you talk a little bit about Booth Library's 75th anniversary celebration? Oh, go ahead. Somebody asked us out.
It is very tentative right now, but I wanted to give like a little spiel. The lab is working on a spooky Halloween thing called The Librarian. We wanted to center around Miss Booth, like a Halloween thing. Have students come out and interact with each other. I mean, have students come out and watch the film. So like a short film inside the library. So that's just what the lab doing so far.
So we have all sorts of events, and I actually have a long list of them. But so we have a whole bunch of them that are tentative, though these things really are going to need to come into crisp focus soon. But we're talking about a rededication day. The Booth Library was dedicated in 1950, and so we want to do a dedication for that. As I understand it, when it opened, it was the first public building in the state of Illinois that was named after a woman. And so I think there's a lot of things that we can talk about in terms of Mary J. Booth and her career. So we have some exhibits related to that, and really using some ways to engage students and how the space has changed over time, talking to faculty about how the use of, we've talked a lot about technology, how the use of the library has changed from the time they were students until they were faculty, and really thinking about the library as part of EIU's story, academic libraries as part of the story of higher education, but then also talking about what we think the library will look like at 100. And
Good one there.
And so there's a lot of opportunities for us to use the university archives, which are part of the library, and to use some of the materials there. And the last time the library was renovated was in 2002. It was gutted, and they did some great things, but we continue to tinker with it in ways that they couldn't have, envisioned, like a family hub or a CSI. And so I think if we were to speculate about what would come in the next 25 years, it's an interesting exercise.
Any ideas when you think about 25 years from now in the library? Has anybody got anything that you think?
I was cracking jokes that it's gonna be all.
Yeah, talk into there.
I was cracking jokes about it's gonna be all electronics.
Okay, that's not the official stance of Booth Library or the dean of Booth Library, that it's all going to be electronic. But I do think that there's going to continue to be of evolution towards electronic media. One of the things that we can talk about is all the biases that we bring. I bring a bias that makes it painful to think of the library not acquiring print materials. We certainly are. There's some disciplines that still rely on those. I really think the idea of the space. We are a disciplinary agnostic space. Every major is our major. We're open 7 days a week. We're open till midnight most days. We have, people who we have just this embedded service mindset in our field. And so I think that we'll just continue to be more and more incorporated into the curriculum. We've come a long way from the place where you came to get the books. Our instructors, just in the fall alone, our librarians gave instruction sessions to 1,600 students. That's one semester. I would see that continuing because people are going to continue to be in increasingly complicated information landscapes. And AI is a big part of that. But even before then, we're just bombarded with information. And I think all of us, maybe at work, in our personal lives, think about information and, what's reliable. And
That's the key word right there, reliable.
And so I think that, that space as information professionals, not IT professionals, but information professionals, the librarians have a unique role. And I think that'll continue to evolve in ways that I can't even anticipate.
We're talking to the folks from the EIU Booth Library. We have a few minutes left here. Gerard, any other final questions from your side of that?
Yeah, I would say in terms of marketing, do you find any specific challenges with the scope of the services you provide and keeping them in the forefront of students' mind? Because there's always new stuff and, we want to remind them of the existing tools.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's always a struggle to kind of not put out too much on social media because you can only consume so much. But we've talked about today, we have so much going on as terms of events and then also just services that we offer. So just trying to keep that on the forefront of everyone's mind. And then always remembering that we have a new group of students every semester, and so letting them know about everything. So yeah, it's definitely a challenge, but I'm up for the challenge. So
Nice.
Can I add on to that?
Yes, sir.
And that's why we do the things we do at the lab, or like we putting on different videos to help and promote the library. We spread the information. That's why we do the Black History Faggots of the library. That's why we do the meet the librarians. So they can provide resources and where you can meet them at, how you can book a meet time with them, so they see what they do. So we try to spread the study rooms. We doing funny videos about the study rooms so students can get more inside the library. So that's why I love what I do.
Do you still do the thing where you wrap the books up when you don't know where the author is? I can't think of the name of it.
blind date with the book.
Yeah.
It's happening till February 28th. But yeah, those are on display on the main.
I really thought that was a neat idea to
You know,
get people to try to challenge themselves to read something out of their wheelhouse.
It is. Yes.
Okay. What is students, and anybody can ask this, what is students when they come in for that first time? Are they a little bit awe-inspired? I mean, so they kind of know how the lay of the land before their 4 years or 5 years up here at Eastern. So talk about the first time a student comes in.
Do you want to talk about your first time coming?
Coming into the library? Yeah. It was my first time coming into the library. Was actually like, I came into the library about 1,000 times my freshman year because every class was doing a tour of the library. And it was amazing though, like when I had met Amy and she told me about the lab and she was pitching the idea, it was just getting started. And I was like, man, it sounds good. At first I know it was like a book person and stuff like that, but it kind of wear down to me and you kind of realize that the library is like the heart of EIU, we got everything, we send around students and they ask students what you want and they try to go get it for you. So I felt loved when I came here. I'm gonna be honest with you. And the people here, I love talking to them every day. I love coming to the library. It's always a place of joy. So,
Is there anything you wish the library had, any of you, but you with about a minute left, or something you wish to have as you go forward?
Jeez, that's a tough one. Highly stuffed it.
oh my God.
That's all right. Anything else? We're running out of time. Is there anything else you want to talk about that we forgot, maybe real quickly, to give some information out?
Yeah. Chris, do you want to mention about the podcast that you launched?
Yeah, so we have a podcast called Tell Your Story with President Prodigy, which is me. And we made that podcast so students can tell their story and like what they're doing at EIU, how they got here, and what their future looking like. We want to give people the opportunity to, showcase they work, you know what I'm saying? I think it's a good chance to put themselves out to businesses just in case they look at it, show other people on campuses just in case they want to look at it, and we also open it up to faculty members, just to show everybody what they're doing at EIU.
Okay. We're out of time. I appreciate Anna, Chris, and Ryan coming in today and talking about the library. We probably could have done an hour show today with so much going on. So appreciate y'all coming in. Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody have a great day. We are WEIU.